Hello everybody, it's Danny back from Deep South Homestead. Guys, we're over here at the cabin, and as we told you in previous videos, we have some things planted in containers over here. Well, tonight it's going to freeze, and rather than let it freeze on everything, we're going to go ahead and do a harvest. I don't know exactly how many days the sweet potatoes has been in here, but it's been over 100. So we're going to go ahead and take the vines out of the sweet potato pot first, and we're going to see what we actually get whenever we take these out. All right, that becomes animal feed right there. I've let the pots dry out. We did not come in and put any water in them in the last day or so because we knew we were going to be digging them. I didn't want to have to be digging in wet dirt. So it may take a little doing because these pots dry out pretty quick. But I'm going to try to do it by hand. We got one potato here. That's a nice red one. I like the look of that. It's a good baking potato right there. We got another one here. We call that our French fry potatoes. One for the animals. Another good French fry potato. Another really nice potato here. That's a good baking potato. Actually, it's perfect for baking right there. I mean, literally perfect. Another nice baking potato. Really nice. We only had 2 plants in this, by the way. Another really good French fry potato. Another one, I think I'm going to use this one for the animals right here. Oh, look at that. Another good baking potato coming out of there. Look at that. Another perfect baking potato. Now, one thing I'm noticing, these potatoes are not misshapen or anything. They're all like perfect potatoes. Another good, you could bake that one, but we're going to call it a French fry potato. It could be baked. This one would be for the animals. It's a nice small one. Another one for the animals. Another little tiny one for the animals. Another one for the animals. Boy, they're growed all in here. Another really nice baking potato, almost perfect. I mean, literally perfect potatoes. This one could go either way for French fries or for the animals. I think I'm gonna give it to the animals just to save on animal feed. That's a long one stuck down in there. That's a good French fry one. Right diameter. It's just really long. All right. So I think we've got all the potatoes off of 2 plants here. And what we ended up with was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 potatoes. It could be baking potatoes. And 1, 2, 3, 4 that we could cut up into stir fry or French fries or something like that. And we got about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 small ones that we could give to the animals. So this one pot yielded a pretty decent amount of potatoes for 2 plants. And to be honest with you, I gotta be honest, I've been so busy this year, I really didn't take care of them. I did the right analysis in the pot in the beginning. We kept it watered once every 2 to 3 days. We put a little water in it because sweet potatoes do not need a lot of water. And I fertilized it up front. I didn't put any more fertilizer after that. And then this is what we ended up with. I wanted to do an experiment with one pot just to see if I really didn't take really good care of it, would I make enough to justify doing it? And I would say yes. For a single person, if this is what you had to do, if you'd have put more effort into it, you'd have got a lot bigger potatoes, a lot more care. You'd have got better potatoes. I'm just being honest because this is an honest, review on a pot here. So for me, this is a definite yes. What I like about it, all the potatoes are perfect. They're not all crooked and twisted and misshapen or anything. Every one of them is just a perfect potato. So the sweet potatoes in pots is something that Wanda and I will do in the future in the high tunnels. We actually have 2 more pots to go over yonder, or 3 more in my high tunnel over there. And we'll check them out later, but we're not going to do it right now because they're still growing pretty good. And they hadn't been in as long as this one has. So pots and sweet potatoes are a definite yes, they will work. Okay guys, we're going to move over here to the potatoes. Now this is the Purple Majesty. This is the only, I'll be honest with you, this is the only purple potato that Wanda and I found that we really like. This thing is like awesome. They don't get real big. Down here we hadn't had a lot of luck with them getting real big. But I suspected based on what I grew in the garden that they were an indeterminate. Now I didn't do any research or anything like that. I don't have time to spend a lot of time on the internet doing all this research. I just plant the thing and then I determine myself whether it's a determinate or an indeterminate. And I suspected these were indeterminates. I put potatoes in the bottom of this pot, and as they began to come up and the plant began to come through the soil, I added more soil. So I'm going to see if it made potatoes all the way to the top of the dirt, all the way to the bottom. And see if there's potatoes all the way down the plant. If not, I'll know that it doesn't do any good to bury these things that deep in the ground. So we're going to start off here digging and see how far we have to go before we come to the first potato. Technically, probably what I need to do is be able to move the dirt over to the other pot. All right, I found one potato. Here's another one. And they almost look black. I mean, they're so, and I love these things. These were right at the top, so I know they made it to the top. Here's another one. And plus, what I'm trying to determine, is it worth it for me to raise these potatoes in pots rather than having to get out here in the garden and toil in the soil and fight weeds and all that kind of stuff? Is it going to be beneficial for me to do this in pots? There's one nice potato. Another one. There's actually like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tiny ones right there that never actually grew to be big potatoes. But I'm trying to determine, and I'm about down where I planted to, so so there are no more potatoes down there. We're going to check the next one. Here's one right at the top of the soil. Now this pot here, I did not fill as deep with dirt as I did this one. This one's all the way to the top. This one was down about 6 or 8 inches from the top. I'm just doing an experiment on several different pots to see how it worked out.
You can't see them because of the
They're
dirt.
so, yeah, you can't really see them. But now there we again, there's 1, 2, 3, there's at least 3 little ones under that one that never matured. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything in the soil. Okay, I did. It's a rock.
Size potato.
Yeah.
There might be others under there. It's just that you're going to have to.
I don't know. Actually, my wicking system is working pretty good. No, there's no more.
So, burying them didn't do any good compared to. They really didn't do very good at all in this pot.
This one wasn't filled as full of dirt.
We got 3 good-sized potatoes and 8 little ones.
The next pot is full all the way to the top. This one was down a good 6 to 8 inches from the top. I'm going to test the next pot, which is full, to see if I have the same results here. So far I'm down 6 inches and I have found no potatoes on the plant. You see the limbs where
He covered the
where I
plants.
covered the plants up. So
But no potatoes.
I'm down almost to the root system now and no potatoes. So I'm not seeing any results from burying them extremely deep.
Nothing on that.
Matter of fact, well, there's
Good size, huh?
that's the only potato I'm finding.
This one I don't even see any potatoes. No, that one, but no little ones on it.
No little ones on it.
And there was no little ones on the other one. I'm getting like one good potato per plant.
This is the one I buried extremely deep.
I'm getting like one potato per plant. That's good. And this one has no little ones.
No little ones on that one. By filling the pot all the way to the top and burying the potato extremely deep and adding to it as it grew up, benefited absolutely nothing on this one. One potato. And this one's actually trying to sprout underground. They're too close down where it's too damp at. Two little tiny potatoes on the side of the plant there. That's it. Nothing else on that one. Not even really a good root system.
This one is different.
This one's a little different. Let's see if we can get it up out of there. There's the original potato. Now this one, kind of...
Who knows?
Who knows? It's like
there was nothing on the bottom.
Nothing on the bottom, but it tried to grow something.
Multiple potatoes hooked together.
Yeah, look at that. It almost looks like a French fingerling. Look how it grew. It just did some kind of...
Like a mad science project.
It's like a mad science project. And look at this one. How many little potatoes is trying to come out on one?
That's weird.
Yeah, that's kind of strange. Well, guys, in my honest opinion, the Purple Majesties just was not worth it in the pots. I don't know if it was the time of year we planted. We planted in the summertime, and we planted extremely deep in the bottom of the pot to see if they would make potatoes coming up the plant. That did not work. Some of them tried. It just didn't work. I might try again next year, putting them a little closer to the top of the pot and not so deep in there, and see if they stay a little bit drier, more toward the top, because these were still wet in the bottom. And maybe I'll have better luck. But the experiment of planting them deep, seeing if they'll make potatoes all the way up the plant, is a no-go. It did not work. So that is one thing on the Purple Majesties that did not work. And the soil had everything in it that potatoes needed to grow really good. It just didn't work. So next year, we'll try a little bit shallower to see how they do. And then, of course, we've got potatoes in the high tunnels and raised beds that were planted 8 inches deep in it. We'll check them out in another video in the high tunnel and see how they do. We're trying to compare growing outside in pots versus growing inside in the high tunnels. Does the environmental circumstances play a big part in what you get from your plants? These plants, I noticed the tops of them looked really weird, like something had happened to them. I don't know what. It's almost like the plant did really good till it got to a certain point, and then all of a sudden the leaves just quit forming like they're supposed to. We'll look at the difference between these plants, the plants in the high tunnels, and we'll see leaf-wise, did they do any better being with a 40% shade cloth, being blocked from the hot, intense sun, and the chemicals or whatever you want to say coming out of the atmosphere, landing on the plants. These were exposed to the outside elements didn't do anything. In another video, stay with us. We're going to do the high tunnels and just see, does growing in a high tunnel make a difference? Thank you guys from Deep South Homestead.